You could have just cancelled it. It was his own session as well. He could have just cancelled it, but it turns out he just went out and sabotaged his own power lines. Hi everyone, this is Matt. Welcome to the Real Gamerscore podcast. This week I'm joined by Cameron.
Hey.
And Jamie.
Hi.
Here at Real Gamerscore, we like to discuss all things Xbox, achievements, and how hard it was to get 3 Hall of Famers on an episode again. This week we talk about panic buying video games, stealth kayak false advertising, and judging 100 games by their covers. But first, here's the song of the week.
Reading through a walkthrough, following the how-to. Wrong directions are shown. Got lost in the maze section. The guide has left me alone.
So I haven't got a clue what the song is. Well, okay, I do kind of know. Like, I've heard the song before, but I wouldn't be able to name it or pick it out of a lineup.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
All right, it's something Australian apparently. Tarragon said he didn't do a good job of it, but I've actually gone and listened to the actual song, and it's actually not too bad.
Okay.
But apparently the song is "This Is Not the Way Home" by The Cruel Sea. But Tarragon, we're more than happy to take your songs out. It saves me from having to do it live, because the thing is that what people don't know is I usually take about 10 takes to try and not screw it up when I pre-record them these days. So,
yep.
Yikes. Anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, let's move on to the housekeeping. So, Discord. Discord.io/RealGamerscore is your place to come chat with us and our community. If you don't know what Discord is, Discord's basically a big chat room with a bunch of different channels based on stuff like the podcast itself. We talk about video games, got kind of a general chat. We have a silly chat for memes. We've got like a serious chat for actually when you want to get, to have some deep and meaningful conversations with people. It's also where we do our competitions. We've got a Patreon channel. We've got all kinds of stuff in there. I also mentioned the Patreon, patreon.com/RealGamerscore. Basically, it's a way for you to give us some money on a subscription basis so we can help pay for server costs, equipment, run competitions, things like that. We really appreciate all of our Patrons. So that's patreon.com/RealGamerscore if you want to help out the show. Also, Tarragon has requested that we give a shout out to Z to Z. For those who don't know, Z to Z was the progenitor of this show. A lot of the original members, so Tarragon was originally on that show along with Freem and Crandy, who did a guest episode a few weeks back. They're now the podcasts are all now back up on Spotify, although they're a little hard to find. So if you want to go back and listen to the really old stuff, you can find it on z2z.com.
Yeah, you're probably going to have a lot easier time looking on Apple Podcasts because I tried to look it on Spotify and I just could not find it.
Yeah, no, I didn't have any luck either. It was apparently it's way down the list.
Yeah, but definitely go and listen. Very good content. Episode 1, they talk about challenges. One of those forgotten relics of the past.
Never heard of them. And so we've also got the Real Gamerscore Word Challenge, which Kirby still has not updated. I don't know what he's doing. I'm going to throw him right under the bus here. But so the Word Challenge is a non-backwards compatible game. We haven't had any real guesses yet, I don't think. So we'll leave it another week and we'll put up another clue. We'll put it in the chat closer to the actual podcast coming out, probably over the weekend. So watch out for that. And we're going to jackpot it up to $20. And I might even throw in a little extra code that I got for Borderlands 3, just to sweeten the pot a little bit to get people guessing. So if you're interested, make sure you get your guesses in there as a non-backwards compatible game, and we'll have a new clue for you in a couple of days.
Can I guess?
All right. Well, no,
I don't have
Borderlands
3.
No, I need to make sure. Man, I really wish I had a game share partner who could guess, though. I really want to play Borderlands 3. So, all right, with that out of the way, the housekeeping, let's get into our introductions. So, Jamie, sniped by a girl, 1, as your gamer tag, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I've been gaming since I was a kid, so I've been playing since like the original Nintendo and stuff. I got really hooked on Xbox a few years ago and found true achievements and stuff, and then my addiction just kind of grew from there. So, I'm married and I have 2 kids, and they sometimes game with me, but not that often.
When you're press gang them into doing some co-op stuff.
I make them sometimes, yeah. They're like some of the games they really begrudgingly do it, but some of the other ones, my youngest will play Minecraft Dungeons with me and stuff. She likes that, but the other one's getting a little too older. Too. She'll play Call of Duty and stuff, but not other stuff that I want to play. So.
Gotcha. Right, she's very picky.
Yeah. It's got to be the right game.
That's why you got your kid, right, Cameron? So you can basically force her into playing all the co-op stuff.
You wait, like we're like 4 weeks away from just doing Just Dance Championships. I need to buy Baby. I need to get 2019 and get Baby Shark before then.
Oh,
she already knows how to dance to it, so it's like it's perfect. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Well. Yeah.
I'll start editing everything and everything.
Well, I can't wait to see that live stream. I'll just say.
Yeah. Cool.
So Jamie, what kind of games do you play? I mean, obviously you've got quite the list. Do you have a sort of preferred genres or preferred series?
Yeah, like it depends. I do like shooters and stuff like that. I played a bunch of Halo and whatnot. But I do like playing RPGs but being involved with G-Task like the last I don't know how many years now. I've played a whole bunch of garbage, so I'm trying to be better and play better games because I have a whole lot of games that I haven't touched, but I do like Mass Effect and Dragon Age are definitely like my favorite games series, but anything that's kind of like that I like. And I've been playing a lot of Outriders lately, and I actually really like that game. So,
oh, great. And then, so in terms of Gamerscore, whereabouts do you sit? How are you? Do you follow any leaderboards? Do you have sort of a Gamerscore style? Like, I mean, like I'm a completionist, for example. Cameron is just bad at video games.
Harsh.
I hit 1 million last year, I think. Gamerscore, and so I have played a lot of junk. Like I do like to just play. Like if I'm having a really busy week, I'll play some junk that's fast. Just
I get that dopamine hit. Don't trust me, I've been there.
That little bleep bloop. I'll do that. But and I work from home all the time, so I've always played. Sometimes I'll play some stuff that I can like just let run while I'm working. So I've followed. I'm actually number 1 on the leaderboard for Gamerscore for health and fitness games on TA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I played a whole bunch of that stuff, and the other leaderboards I don't really follow. I'm just sort of slowly ticking up the Gamerscore TA leaderboard, but that's about it.
Interesting.
I mean, over 1 million is impressive. I mean, like I'm looking at your profile now. You're ranked 129 on the site. So I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. That's some very, very impressive numbers.
I think there's some correlation between these people working from home and higher Gamerscore. It feels like.
Okay, all right. Like, just because this is going out on the airways, I use my working time for working and my Xbox time for Xbox. Okay, all right. Just for legal reasons, I'm going to 100% say that in case my bosses happen to come across this VOD. Okay, I'm a very hard worker. I will not hear otherwise.
It's just the cut out of that daily commute, yeah?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's like, look, my daily commute's 30 seconds. You know, that 30 minutes you save is just prime gaming time. I get hours worth of enjoyment out of that. All right. Cool. And so I guess the other thing is that you're a Hall of Fame member for the Xbox.
Yeah. I got Gamepass ruler for Canada,
which is incredible. It's, I mean, like, do you want to talk a little bit about that? I mean, Cameron's gone into his experience on how he did that for Australia, which has been interesting.
I drove my husband absolutely bonkers while I was going for it, but when I saw it came out, I figured I had already played so many easy games, and my gamer score is kind of high, so it's kind of hard to play a bunch of the baby games and stuff and knock out a lot of Gamerscore in a short period of time. And then Smirnov, of course, is from Canada, so like I'm not getting highest.
So you got to hedge your bets immediately.
I was talking with some of my buddies, and I was kind of like, I think I could go for Game Pass. And my one friend was like, no, Smirnov's probably played them all. And so I went on TA, and I was looking through all the Canadian guys and seeing like how many Game Pass games they had on their list. And I was like, nah, I think I could do it. Because I had already played a lot of them too, like legit anyway. So yeah, I just started on a massive dive and just went through the whole list and like went to like EB Games and picked up a whole bunch of the games that weren't on Game Pass anymore and just went to town, like staying up super late and driving my husband actually nuts. So
was it awkward when you had to return a copy of NBA because you no longer wanted to play it?
I kept them all. The ones that I have crap, I kept them. But
yeah, she might actually play them, Cameron.
I might. I don't know.
You're saying I won't? I mean, just give me 20 years, yeah?
Yeah, and that's my thing too. Like, I'll keep all my games like that I've started that I haven't finished. So I'm like, yeah, you said you're a completionist. My completion percentage is absolute garbage. So I guess I didn't have a problem being diving all these games and.
It would have drove me nuts. There's no way. I couldn't have done it for all the Xboxes in the world. It would have just killed me.
Did you track your dive at all, or?
Yeah, I started it a bit late, but I did start a new bean dive because I was like, okay, I'm diving a ton of games, so I might as well start one now, and it was a lot.
The dive itself, did you do the same thing Cameron did and try and pop an achievement and everything, or did you just like kind of play a couple of minutes of it?
Yeah, I popped an achievement in every one because like the rules were super vague. So I was like, what actually constitutes like playing the game? So I figured if I popped an achievement in all the games that I played, then it would have to count. So that's what I went with. But then their numbers came out. Like there was that whole fiasco when the whole thing was over and their numbers were super off. And to be honest, I was actually having a massive meltdown because they hadn't awarded the thing for Canada for Game Pass. And so I was having an absolute meltdown because I was like, I like had spent so much time on it and I was like, I know I won it. And I felt like they were trying to give it to someone like from Quebec or something, but I knew I had played more than everyone else in Canada. So it was really bugging me. But then like a week later, they sent me the notification that I had won it. So I was like, but then their numbers were still super off because I had tracked like what I had played, and I was like, okay, this is like off by hundreds. So
yeah, in terms of Gamescore, I think I was off by like 100,000 or something, some ridiculous number. Even the second when they went back and redid it. I mean, not to be honest, not that I had anything to worry about in New Zealand because I was top for the legacy ones for both of them. But I was still curious. I was still like, oh, maybe someone's gonna come out of here and snipe me, and I have no idea. But
do a good old region swap at the last second.
Oh, yeah, suddenly someone flies into New Zealand, but like, hey, buddy.
That was... Oh, who was that? That was UK leaderboard, or...
UK leaderboard, or was it like the Swedish leaderboards as well? Like, a lot of the European ones people were like really suspect about, because they weren't really sure if people were actually in the region. Because I remember before the leaderboards actually came out with the official results, everyone was like checking leaderboards, like, okay, who's in this region? Who hasn't said what region they're in? Who's ranked higher than me? Who's been earning this much over this period of time? It was pretty nuts, actually.
Very messy.
Yes, yeah. I mean, obviously they didn't run it as well as they should have, which is a real shame. But I'll be interested to see if they do another achievement-based competition, because it kind of felt like for a long time these sort of achievements have been on the back burner for Xbox. I mean, hell, they took them out of the app for ages, and they only just put them back in. So to see a competition for it was really good, but we just haven't heard anything about like where achievements are going or if they're even changing. I mean,
and Sony was working on stuff with the trophies like that. It would automatically record around the trophy unlocking. That kind of stuff I think is very cool.
Yeah.
It can easily be implemented and turned on and off.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a feature I would never use, but it's interesting that they're making some strides into trying to make the trophy system better.
It'd be nice, though, if you're going for something that's like, a 20 ratio, and it's like, all right, I want to, I might be having a conversation with Valak or somebody else from the community, and I can go, all right, this is when I unlocked it. And it can also be used in a video guide to kind of give an aspect.
I don't know. It might be a bit dangerous having certain party members, and then they might say a gamer word, and you don't want that. Like you don't want that going out over the VODs. You just got to. I mean, I'm not saying that Valak is massively offensive and is going to get us all cancelled, but there is a distinct possibility
of 100%.
It's about 100%. Yeah, it's pretty close. I was talking with him yesterday.
Cool.
All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about with your experience with that? I mean, you have sort of a unique perspective in terms of when you were diving the games, did you have like a favorite game? Was there ones that like you actually were like, oh, actually this is actually pretty good, I want to go back to it, or ones that were like, wow, this is the worst thing I've ever played?
There's some I haven't gotten back to yet that I still want to get back to, but yeah, there was a bunch that I was like, okay, like I put it on a list somewhere that I was like, okay, like that's a game I could actually play. Like, I think Mutant Year Zero was one of them that I was like, that looks fun. And I can't think of the name of the other one. I think it's already left Game Pass again, but I'd probably pick it up. But it was another one that sort of seemed like Mutant Year Zero, and like it was just, I think I had to play it for a bit before I popped an achievement in it, and I was like, yeah, like I really liked that. And also, I think the other one was Pillars of Eternity. I didn't realize that it was like an Obsidian game. I think it's Obsidian, but like it's really Baldur's Gate type of game, and I was like, I didn't realize that game was like that, so I was also like, okay, I got to go play that one.
Yeah, I got really good at the second one. Got it done in there. I got it done so fast. Like I was just like, you know what, I got this. I've been playing RPGs for years.
I think the problem is so has everybody else.
I mean, like like the skill ceiling was, people have been playing these things for so long that they're just like, man, I'm going to get this done in like 10 minutes. It tops.
Yeah, it's totally legit.
I do actually need to go back and play the second one legit. Yeah, and they're like they are really, really good games in that sort of old Baldur's Gate vein. If you've got 200 hours to spare, basically. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what is it. Avowed, I think, is their sort of Skyrim style game that they're coming out with that's set in the same universe. I think they announced it last year's E3. Or was it the year before? I don't know. The years are all running.
One of them. It looked amazing though. Like it was just a CG trailer, but like I'm like, hey, I'm super down for it. I love me some swords and sorcery. Just need to bring back Dark Messiah, Might and Magic, and just start kicking people into shit again. All right. Okay, Cameron, did we have any news this week? All right, so I've just done some quick and easy ones. So Xbox free-to-play games no longer require live gold subscription as of this week.
Which is good.
Pretty quick and easy story, but after a brief attempt for them to try and raise the price of gold and getting questioned to hell about why.
Yeah, but why they're being so damn greedy.
Kind of opened the floodgates to a discussion about why on other console platforms can you play free-to-play games and not have a subscription.
Yeah, so the talk was apparently this was already planned as an announcement, but they kind of had to push it along to try and get some goodwill back.
Yeah,
because it doesn't really make sense to have to pay for gold for a free-to-play game. It's especially with the rise of massively popular free-to-play games like Fortnite and Rocket League, and I mean, hell, even Destiny 2 is free-to-play now, right? So, I mean, it's definitely a good move on their front. But like, there's like a list of like 50 games. I didn't realize there were so many of them.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I guess some of the most bigger ones are like Dauntless, Warzone, Destiny 2, Killer Instinct, Spellbreak, Warframe. What else is there?
Hawken,
Paladins, Smite, World of Tanks,
Neverwinter, of course. Oh, yeah. My old nemesis.
I mean, if a gold subscription was holding you back from playing Neverwinter with Matt, now's your chance.
I mean, look, if you want to play it, more power to you. But I like, all ye who enter here are damned. I tell you, like it's. Fucking hate that game.
I'm surprised Crackdown and Crackdown 2 are in this list.
Yeah, well, they made those games free just in general. I think this is just a collection of just free games. I don't necessarily mean that they're free to play. I think they're just taking a list of like, oh, hey, Aegis Wing is free because they released it for free. So
bump it up to 50 makes it look like a nice number.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, free games, it's always good. Unless the achievement lists are bad, which most of the time they are.
Yeah.
Actually, Jamie, do you play any free-to-play games, or have you in the past? Are you like, you don't play any MMOs or big long grinds, any Smites or Neverwinters or?
I've played a lot of Neverwinter, and I was sort of getting into Warframe. That one was really good. I can't think of what else. I want to play some of the other ones too. I'm trying to think. I can't even think of the names of them right now. There's so many of them, but mostly Warframe and Neverwinter. I've put a lot of time.
How do you find Neverwinter? Are you deep into it, or how you?
I got pretty deep into it, and then I started playing some other stuff. But it's definitely one that I want to go back to and play some more of, because they've added so much since I sort of put a pause on it for a bit. But there's so much to do in that game. It's actually really well done, I think.
Yeah, like the overall game itself, I quite like. I'm not a huge fan of the monetization, but it's free to play, so it's kind of, you get what you get. Yeah, I'm waiting for the. I'm mostly up to date with the achievements. I've got there's 2 challenges I haven't done yet. One of them's without dying, and then one of them's the previous one. And then they've just come up with the latest mod a couple weeks ago, which they're coming out with it in parts, which is kind of weird for them. So it's like, okay, well, I've done part 1, and now I just kind of have to sit on my ass and wait for them to release part 2 before I earn any more campaign currency. The
one achievement I was really hoping to get was the guild one. Was the only one that really seemed like playing a guild stronghold match.
A stronghold match? Oh man, that one!
I just have never been able to get into a match for that.
Yeah, getting 100 people together to do that is pretty fucking ridiculous, to be honest. It's definitely one of my prouder achievements. And I got it. There was the initial wave when that mod came out that everyone was like, "Cool, jump on that. We'll play." Because you get pretty good refinement rewards for doing it. But I was lucky enough to be called into a guild that was doing strongholds every now and then. And my buddy sent me a message on Discord being like, "Yo, they're doing a stronghold. You need to get into this now." So I sat there for half an hour waiting for it, and then suddenly it worked. And I couldn't believe it. It was, but I've never seen a stronghold ever again after that. So it's
no, I've never seen one, and I can't believe that they've never kind of altered that or made it so that the requirement was a lot less people to actually be able to get into a match. But
anyway, I'm not going to get too inside baseball about it. I just Neverwinter is my white whale. It'll be the thing that I never finish, but I'll always be working towards. I've 4 achievements left. One of these days, I will finish it. But I'll probably have to retire after that.
There's Perfect War games. You'll finish it and they'll add more.
Yeah, well, that's again. They need to go out of business. They need to either stop releasing content for it or something, because they're never going to be done with it. It's just a fucking treadmill.
And I remember playing Perfect World Entertainment, 12, 13 years ago? I think they've still got a lot in it.
Well,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, they also do Star Trek Online, so I don't see them going out of business anytime soon, unfortunately. All right. And what's the other story we've got here?
The other story is essentially Xbox Cloud Gaming for Windows 10 PC and Apple phones and tablets begin as limited beta for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members.
Yes, I mean, that's a good thing, right? They're finally getting around to putting the streaming on PC. But this is the browser one, or is this the...
I want to say so. You mean...
That was the thing, right?
You mean for Apple, yeah?
For Apple, yeah, but apparently it's... Yeah.
Windows 10 PC is just the app, and as far as I'm aware, the Apple phones and tablets are a browser. Because I imagine they wouldn't have sorted anything out with...
No. So they obviously still have that issue with Apple around having streaming services available on their platform, which is a real pain.
Right.
So this piece sort of PC, also this browser solution was kind of the best way around it.
So,
I think, Luna, which is the
Amazon?
Amazon.
Yeah, yep.
Yes, the Amazon solution was also basically doing the same thing.
So this one, you go to xbox.com/play. You can play over 100 Game Pass titles through Edge, Google Chrome, or Safari.
Right, okay, so it is still the browser.
So if you have Firefox, you're out of luck, I think.
Oh, that sucks, because I do. But having said that, I actually I may have found a way of getting the
Mexican one?
The developer test version of the PC streaming version that I've been running, and I ran that for some Chivalry last night, and it worked pretty good.
I tried to get into that, but it just wasn't working.
But if you need some help, we'll see if after the show I can try and run you through it.
Ah, cool.
But no, I mean that's good. I mean, I'm glad they're making progress. But it's good to see the Xbox.com/players, as Alex has put in the chat there, on your browser. Works on PC as well, so on any device pretty much.
And I'm just having a look. So those who receive an invite just need a compatible Bluetooth or USB connected controller, or you can use custom touch controls for more than 50 games to start playing and testing. They're going to focus on fine-tuning features and creating consistent experience across all platforms, while making sure the games are running their best. And then they just got, if you need more information, just come to our support hub.
All right. Jamie, do you use any sort of streaming stuff in terms of like xCloud or any stuff? I mean, I'm restricted over here in New Zealand. Like, I don't have access to xCloud, unfortunately. But
yeah, I have an iPhone, so I was really hoping that the cloud gaming would have come to it. But I actually do use it because so the one free to play game that I play a lot of is Gems of War. I forgot about that, but I play I don't know why, because I play it like every stupid day, but. Like when my husband wants to like watch movies or something like that, it's one of those games that I actually hate sitting at my desk and playing Gems of War, like because it's so kind of mindless that I'd rather spend my time doing dailies and stuff like that while we're like watching a TV show. So I have streamed to my phone, but it hasn't had the xCloud capability yet. But
Gotcha.
The streaming works fine, but I mean it's limited to being in your own house. But for Gems of War, it works really well.
I mean, it's great if you work from home, right? Don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah. I just like that I can watch TV with my husband and play it at the same time. And it'd be nice if I wouldn't have to be like streaming direct from my Xbox, though. It'd be nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, be interested to see how that expands out, because I'm still waiting for New Zealand to be added to the beta list, but. It's fine. We don't have a data server here yet, apparently, so they're building one, but I don't know how long that's going to take.
So they can do massive console reveal events, but they can't do anything else in New Zealand?
What a fucking surprise, right? So we're great for the marketing, not so much for the technology.
From that, should we move into what we've been playing this week?
Yeah, let's kind of fire through that, because we're running a little long, but that's all right. Cameron, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So, where to start? Stranger Things 3. Played a bit of that, about halfway through the story. Oh, actually, not halfway through the story, halfway through the achievement list. It is not what I was expecting. So, I guess the old looking NES games, would you say?
Sure. That sort of 16-bit style? Or...
Yeah. Essentially covers season 3. I haven't really watched Stranger Things. It's one of those shows that I want to get around to one day, but I haven't really ever had the chance to. For like just an 8-bit, like that top-down angled kind of game, like really enjoyed it. Can't really say much more than that. Rain in Your Parade, I started about halfway through. Very cute. Was not expecting it to be as good as it is. There's a lot of like little Easter eggs in here that I'm quite enjoying, like the office level, where it's just stupid stuff like rain on the chili guy, and stuff like that. Set the whole office on fire. Like, just great.
What kind of game is it? Because I don't know anything about it.
I don't know if you'd call it puzzle, but essentially it's like you're just a rain cloud. You're just raining on all the people, or that to progress through the levels.
Oh, okay.
Or you're doing a set objective to, might be getting acid from a puddle on the ground and converting it to then rain on all the crops and destroy it, or corrode all these vehicles on a farm. So it's objective-based levels, but I don't know if you would call it puzzle.
I mean, it's starting to sound like, was it Untitled Goose Game or whatever? Except you're a rain cloud.
I don't know how to describe it. It's going to do it justice.
All right.
I definitely recommend checking it out, though. And, I mean, there was the patch, but I don't think it will affect too much. I think it'll still be a pretty quick completion if you can...
I'm a pro gamer. I'll be fine.
Vegas 2 did like a fun little boosting session to start that the other day. If you want to join in, I'm happy to try and smash this out. Hull has held up a lot better than Vegas 1, which I'm not looking to going back to. Played a little bit of Halo 3 ODST. Essentially kept on dying on the Boulevard level. Just kept on getting taken out by the Wraith at the end of the level. So I'm like, after about half an hour of just pulling my hair out last night, I'm like, all right, nobody's online. I'm just going to plug in a second controller.
Ah, yeah, the old Halo respawn controller trick.
Yeah. Which was just absolutely great. Talking about Halo, did a little bit more Halo Wars. I mean, just more real-time strategy, not much to say with that. Then I played some Halo MCC with Steven and did most of... I think we did like 4 or 5 levels of the score attack on Halo 2. And going back now, Halo 2 is not as bad as what I thought.
It's bad still, though.
Like, the first few levels are what's doing it for me. But then the last mission we played was the one where you went over the tank over the bridge at the start. And that's just... That's an absolute banger, in my opinion. It's amazing. Past that... What else did I do? Call of Duty Black Ops 3 on 360.
I don't know. I mean, I know why you're doing it, but...
Because I hate myself.
He's just a glutton for punishment, you know? Like...
Saying that, me and Adrian managed to get down to locking down... I mean, like... You need 4 people to start, but locking down the servers, making sure everything worked. We've got kind of an optimized run now. We managed to get everything done but 5 achievements, so I'm missing 4 base game and 1 zombies achievement.
That's
Saying that, one of those achievements is probably going to be like 100 hours in itself with boosting. 10,000 kills, 1,000 kills with each weapon, 1,000 kills with each specialist out of the 9. But we got all the boot camp done. It's just going to be career that's the longest. So if you want to donate a body, happy to take you. But yeah, this is going to be a long boost. And then pretty much the game I've been spending most of the week on, Age of Empires 2. I did the Lords of the West DLC. I managed to complete that all. Probably took me like 10 to 15 hours for the free campaigns. This is a really, really fun campaign. Just trying to think how to describe it. They kind of reinvented the wheel. Like, but in a good way. So, the stories are really engaging, which is what you want with a game about history. There's certain campaign missions which give you, like, multiple options. So it's not like just steamroll the enemy. You can get relics, finish it like that. You build wonder and protect it for 400 years. There was 2 really good missions that I need that I just recommend. Where one was essentially you're destroying mining camps and all that for resources. So it's just paying out on that and then building your army based on that. And at the same time, you have a very restricted population of 75, so it makes it very difficult. You have to put all your energy into, you know, being strategic, attacking the right camps. At the same time, there's this massive army coming at you whenever you attack them. So it's like, all right, sneak, attack a mining camp, get some gold, come back, attack the lumber camp, come back, and just building up your army that way. And then there was another one which was essentially... The original Age of Empires had a population cap of 200. The new Age of Empires 2 has a population cap of 500.
Oh, okay.
So there is a massive walled-off city where the mission is you have to protect your 5 heroes for the achievement. You can let one of them die and just complete the mission normal, but I was trying to get both in one go. So I essentially garrisoned everybody into a castle in the center of the map. Everybody will attack you in 10-minute increments, and you just have to try and hold out and make your way across the map and defeat... I'm just trying to think what hero it is. Defeat the hero on the opposite end of the map to win the match, yeah?
Yeah.
Essentially what I did was, alright, I'm going to garrison my 5 heroes in the castle so nobody can attack them. I'm just going to let the first wave pass and let them destroy my upper north base and work on the southern base, because to the west of that, my hero was on the very far most western side. I'm then going to take all my villagers and get as much rock as I can. Mm-hmm. And then I'm just like, all right, cool. I have this small selection of knights. I have a decent-sized army of infantry. Put all my infantry on the west side. Got a knight. Got a villager. Villager just goes outside the base, builds a castle. So
right, I see. Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, what I do was, all right, knight goes over, grabs a few enemies, drags them back to the castle.
Castle kills
them.
So
castle kills them.
You just kited them the whole time.
I kited them the whole time. Then I've got a market, so I converted all my other resources to stone. And then every 10-minute gap, when they're not attacking, another castle to the west.
So you basically just started building castles all the way to their base.
Yes.
What kind of ridiculous fucking strategy is that?
It worked.
That must have taken ages.
It wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to take. But yeah, essentially kited all the way across to the point of having 3 castles, absolutely like steamroll the rest of the base. And just using my knights, which I think there was 20 of them, like, you know, letting one die at a time, but pulling everybody back to the castle.
Right.
But I mean, it worked, and I haven't played a campaign like that in a while, and very enjoyable.
Well, that's one way of doing it, I suppose. I'm probably just going to follow a video guide.
I don't know if there's any video guides for that one, so I might put up a suggestion, which is just
build
a wall of castles. Saying that, on my friends list, I'm the highest person with Age of Empires 2 completion, and everything else is just going to be campaigns and getting it done. But yeah, that is Age of Empires 2, and yeah, absolutely loving messing with strategies and them essentially reinventing the wheel. The narrator they got in for the new DLC was actually really good compared to the base game.
So is this DLC like brand new? Like it's not like a port of the old one?
Brand new
from the ground up. Oh, that's cool. That's really
and
cool.
they have another one coming up. I don't know when it's releasing, but they're going to keep on adding stuff to Age of Empires 2. It seems like the only one that they're not going to spend any more time on was the original.
Right. Okay.
Which makes sense. I mean, like, if 2's getting new stuff, 3's getting new stuff, and then eventually 4 will come out. And from what I've seen of 4, like, they're reinventing how naval battles will work. They're going to put archers on walls, that kind of stuff. It should be a very interesting game. But that's what I've been playing this week, and I got 1,205.
That's not bad. Hey, Jamie, do you want to go next?
So I played Bullet Beat and Castle of No Escape. The DLC the title update came out. And what else did I play? Reactor X, I did too. I was actually surprised with those ones though, because while he had made them easier on Xbox for a while, and then he had to revert it all back to the harder achievements, it seems like the ones on PC are like the longer versions. So like it's not like a super quick 5-minute completion if anyone's looking for that. So it's Bullet Beat was about the same because it was already pretty easy, but Reactor X, you have to play the whole game. Castle of No Escape is easy though. And then I wanted to finish off Thumper. I had started with the Hall of Fame stuff, and then I was playing it, and then it's leaving Game Pass, so I actually ended up finishing that off. I think I went to bed seeing like neon lights and stupid music night after night. So
how difficult was that one? Because I've had a look at it, but it looks like it might be a little bit outside of my skill set.
Yeah, it's not easy, but you can like play each segment and restart them like if you mess up, because you have to S rank everything, but you can go slowly, like, but you're not going to finish it if you're starting it right now. It does take a while. And then I played a whole bunch of Outriders, and I was having a really fun time playing that. And then I cleaned up Skyrim and Fallout on Windows after using console commands. I went and finished those off. And then I finished off Goner, what you can get of it on Windows. I had to do the gunless run, so just using 2 controllers, and you get to just keep respawning, so it's actually pretty easy as long as you don't pick up a gun. And then I was playing a bunch of Greedfall on Windows, and I love that game. I can't recommend that game enough. I think they're not like a huge company, and it's not like a AAA game or anything, but it's almost AAA for me. Like, I really liked it.
On my list for sure. Definitely my kind of game.
It's really, like, I loved it, and I'm having just as much fun playing it the second time too. And then I did a bit of Moving Out DLC, but one of the achievements on that glitched on me, so for completing all the objectives on both versions, so I'm a little pissed off with that. So I might end up just buying it, because I actually liked the games, but I think I'm going to have to replay the whole base game again. So that's what I played that, and I got 6,010.
Nice.
Damn, that's some great work. What have I been playing? It's been a busy week in the Neomaster household. So I did Chivalry on the 360, just finished that up this morning, and I've also started the Xbox One version of it. Made a little bit of progress, but I'm going to have to try and double box it later on. I played a little bit of Far Cry 2 with one Mad Rocketansky. We're doing some of the grindy bits for the challenges.
You doing the multiplayer?
A little bit. Yeah, we're doing the some of the Soldier of Misfortune, like, multi-kill stuff. I could double box most of it, but there are a few things we need 3 people for.
Alright. Hi. I'm Shadow. Nice to
never
meet
heard of you. Yeah, so like he was like, hey, do you want to do this? Because we were going to play Dead or Alive 4, but my disc doesn't work. So I need to go out and find another one of those, because it's not digital, unfortunately. Also been playing, I started up Last Dead End, which was on sale this week. It's a first-person / third-person shooter, like horror game, with some puzzle mechanics. It's fucking terrible, but it's short. It's like a 2-hour, 3-hour game. So I started that. I got like a few levels in, got a few achievements in it before I went back to Chivalry. It'll be easy. I'll get it done later on. If you want to play it, it's got a 1.5 ratio, so you kind of know what you're getting into.
Is that on the one or on the 360?
That's on the one. It's one of those trash games. Also been playing some Ghost Recon Future Soldier, which has kind of been the big one. Trying to get that done before it leaves. Before the servers go down at some undisclosed time. I've got one achievement left to get for getting to a class to level 50, and I've got a level 38 class. I should get that done pretty soon. Was supposed to have a session for it on Friday, but 20 minutes into the sort of 6 hours that we had planned out to get all this done, one of the guys had his power cut, and he sent us a picture of the power company outside working on the power line. So, not great. So we'll
that's
see
a far way to avoid a gaming session.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you could have just cancelled it. It was his own session as well. He could have just cancelled it, but it turns out he just went out and sabotaged his own power lines. Yes, it's unfortunate, but it means that we'll try and get some of that done next week, I hope, before I go away again for work. And then I also did both versions of Moving Out before they leave Game Pass, which are actually really, really fun.
SMG made a really good game.
Sorry, what?
SMG have a really good game there.
Yeah, it's like I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, definitely turn the assists on to make it easy and just kind of chill. Some of the challenges are a little difficult, but again, nothing major. Once I got through the Xbox One version, that took me about 10 hours for the main game. Oh, it was not even that. It was 8 hours for the main game and 4 or 5 hours for the DLC. I just flew through it on the Windows 10 version, got all of it done in 8 hours total.
You use controller or mouse and keyboard for Windows 10?
Controller. Just use controller. Okay. It was really, really simple. And just do it solo. You can do it co-op, but with the assists on, the single player stuff is much easier. You don't have to coordinate or anything like that. You do have to replay a couple of levels for some challenges, and make sure you keep a very close eye on the collectibles, because they have a achievement tracker. The achievements have the tracker on them, but you don't have an in-game counter for them. So if you're not keeping track of which ones you've done, you need to do what I did for the Windows 10 version and go back and redo half the levels, because one of them didn't get added to the conveyor belt. So bit of a pain, but definitely recommend. If you start it now, you could probably get it done before it leaves Game Pass. Both versions of it, because it is quite short, and it's kind of relaxing.
I need to do the Windows 10. I've got the Xbox One physically.
And then I got... so I talked about this, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but I got press ganged into Swim Sanity. which by Mike, Nev, and Valak. So, yeah, again, as I'm known as the man with the rubber arm, and that I always succumb to peer pressure. That's why I've got Neverwinter on my tag. And so they're like, "Oh, hey, join us, play this 4-player game." It's so fucking bad, but we had a very successful session. We got through all of the levels on the main difficulty, and we even got through one of them on Swim Sanity Insanity difficulty, and we got a bunch of the multiplayer done. So we're making good progress, but it's a pretty tough game for a sort of 4-player side-scrolling like twin stick. It's those fish will fuck you up if your teammates don't for you. And then, so I've been working on all this stuff, and I've got myself to the point where I had exactly 1,000 points left to get before I hit my 1.6 million. So, as is tradition, I picked the worst game or the weirdest game that I could find to be my milestone game, and Valak recommended Strike Force 2 Terrorist Hunt. It might, I'm about halfway through it. It might actually be the worst game I've ever played. And I played a lot of fucking bad games, but holy shit is this bad. Okay, so you play... this game is like an asset flip. It looks like it. So you play a undisclosed military man with a gun who just sort of glides along because it's first person. And you shoot at terrorists, all of who look the same. There are two different types. There's one wearing black and one wearing red, wearing balaclavas. They run at you shooting with their AKs. Yelling. You can't really... It's hard to tell what direction they're coming from because the audio is so bad and there's not really any good... You get hit markers, but they're very hard to see. There's no enemy variety. The levels are basically just assets that have just been put on an island. Think like the very first level of Crisis, where you're like hunting the North Koreans, but with like the super suit, but no super suit. You're just walking around. There's like... It doesn't have... It has like a health bar thing... there are no checkpoints in any levels, so if you die in any level, you have to restart the whole level. The voice lines are some of the worst I've ever heard. There's a part where your signal's getting jammed, and instead of making any kind of sound effect, the guy just starts like saying things like it's clearly him just saying, me, I, can't, you, what? And it's like you could have done 2 minutes of work to put some sort of buzzing sound effect or anything, but it's like, no, none of that. When you kill the enemies, their guns just float there in midair, and you can go and swap to the weapon. But when so I had a glitch where I had like an AUG, and I swapped it for an AK. But when I swapped it, I still kept the AUG, but the weapon on the ground was now another AUG, so I could just walk over it, pick up the ammo for it. So I essentially had unlimited ammo for my gun. I could just keep swapping the weapon, and it would just change whatever weapon the enemy had to the weapon I had. There's very little indication in terms of like signposting for the game. Wandering around, like you just kind of wander around aimlessly. Like you can press back to kind of see where something is, like where you're supposed to go. But in terms of like, oh, is this door openable, or do I need to go in this direction? Like, is there a path I'm supposed to follow? You know, good game design usually has kind of lights shining on an area, or kind of sort of directs your eye to where you need to go. This game has none of that. It's very easy to wander off in the wrong direction and completely fuck up the whole mission. It's short, and the creme de la creme is that one of the achievements is glitchy for getting a headshot. So apparently once I finish the game, I need to go back and do the last level and just sit there for as long as it takes for me to just keep shooting people in the head for it to pop. So I picked a real banger for my 1.6. I gotta say, I can't wait to put that in the trophy case. But man, oh man, like it's like I've played some bad stuff. Like, you know, I've played Pimp My Ride, I've done Leisure Suit Larry, I've done... Like I did, was it Post-War Dreams for my 1.3 or whatever it was. But this is definitely the worst asset flip piece of trash that I've played in a very, very long time. So I highly recommend it. Definitely get on it. The game picture has a picture of a guy at a stealth kayak, so I'm waiting for the kayak section. I don't even know if there is. I don't even know if that's false advertising. It's just fucking bad. But once I get that done, I get to go back and play games I enjoy. So we'll see.
Just write a review after the.
I will. I gave it a 1 out of 5 because the game is technically completable, so it's not a 0.5, but it is a 1. But that puts me at 6,925 for this week. So I've been very, very busy.
Very nice.
All right. And
putting me to shame.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, but that's every week. All right, let's. We do have a couple of questions. We got one in the chat. From who was it from here? I just want to scroll up and read it.
From CJ, I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
Affectionist Donk.
Yeah, affectatious Donk. Where he said, "What is the best game you've stopped playing to play games for Gamerscore?" Ooh, that's a hard one, I guess, because I play everything for Gamerscore, right? Like it's kind of.
I'm thinking like in terms because I completed it, like Rocket League, I had to uninstall, but I know that like everybody else pretty much hovers around Rocket League still.
True.
I'm trying to think what else. I'd say the same with Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends. If I hadn't uninstalled Apex, like I probably would still be playing that one.
I know most games when I'm done them, I'm done. I did play a whole lot of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for some reason. Like I was playing it on the PC at the time, and I played a ton of that multiplayer after. I don't know why, but I loved it.
I mean, it's good. Like the multiplayer was good. It's a shame they're not going to be putting it back in the Legendary Edition.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't really. Again, like I'm the same way. Like if I finish the game, I'm done with it. I'll probably never go back to it. Like I did recently go back and play Halo 3 just for fun on the 360 because I was basically told that I should. And it's still a great. Like I talked about last week. It was like tank beats Hunter, tank beats Wraith, tank beats everything. Like still such a great game. But in terms of like, and the things that I've stopped playing and then gone on to play for other things for Gamerscore, like anything that's on anything that I guess like GTASC is probably the worst for that, right? Like having to move between games super often and actually like try like absolutely rinse them. Like I've joined GTASC a couple of times, but I've never done it like seriously, and it just drains the hell out of me.
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. It's too much of a time commitment. Especially if you want to do good, like it's.
We also got a question here from Mr. Question Asker Extraordinaire Isaac. He said, "Hey guys, so Sony recently said they were going to close down the PS3 store, and then people were panic buying games, and then they backtracked and said they'd keep it up indefinitely, at least for the PlayStation 3 and Vita. I think they're still closing down the PSP store.
Yeah.
If Microsoft decided to close down the 360 store, what, if any, games would you buy to make sure you have them in your collection? Thanks as always." I
think with me, I'd pretty much chase up anything that I've already, anything that could make a serious completion.
Mm. So I kind of did this already. So when, when I think it was the Undergarden got delisted, and they relisted the DLC for a very short period of time, I grabbed it and I decided that I was just going to grab everything that I actually wanted off the 360 store already. So I pretty much own everything I will ever want to play on the 360. There might be a few things here and there, but like overall, I think I've pretty much got everything. But like I've done my panic buying already, basically.
That bookcase there is completely filled with 360 games.
Yeah, that's
chockers. Like I think I've got like 4 copies of Guitar Hero World Tour, that kind of stuff. Like anything that I would want is pretty much in there. And that one's entirely Xbox One.
I should clarify, I mean digital games on my front because I don't collect physical if I can avoid it. But I did go out and buy like all the disc versions of all the games that I'd started that I'd never got around to finishing, ones that I'd rented or things like that. So like that's why I've got like Forza 2 sitting here that I need to go back and try and get as much out of as possible because it's not completable anymore, unfortunately. But there's a lot of old stuff that I'm like, I played this. I think like Apache Air Assault was the classic one that I did with Keo. But it was like, I played like a lot of it, but I just never got around to finishing the multiplayer, the co-op stuff, and having someone get me to go. I was like, oh hey, I have that game. Go back and do it, and it was actually not too bad. But yeah, the panic buying thing, I feel it. I feel it because it's like this. Things are going to get delisted more and more, even if they don't. I highly doubt they'll ever shut down the 360 store, at least not anytime soon. But like it's up to the developers around whether they want to keep their games on there, and they will start disappearing after the games themselves and the support for them in terms of server closures and things like that as time goes on, because we are getting a long time from the original 360 launch.
Yeah.
What about you, Jamie?
I think I own so many 360 games already, but I did go and buy a lot digital that I had owned physical that I hadn't played yet, because like I haven't finished the Fallout games, and there was just a bunch of games that had come out that I wanted to play. But I own the disc, but I just figured for like a couple bucks, I'll pick it up digital and play it on the one, and not have to mess with discs. So yeah, I just can't, I just don't even know if there's anything that I'd even want to buy on the 360 anymore that I don't already own.
Problem is, everything I want to buy is already delisted.
Yeah, like I'd love to do Wallace and Gromit and a few other bits and pieces on 360, but it's just not an option, really.
I remember Wallace and Gromit for GameCube. Just trying to think which one that was. It was such a good game.
The one game that was really pissing me off was the one Minecraft Telltale game, one of the seasons. I game share with one of my buddies, and so I was lucky because I was actually able to like use his 360 stuff because he had already downloaded it to be able to play season 2, I think it was, because I owned it too, and that's what pissed me off. I had bought it, but I had never downloaded it. If you hadn't already previously downloaded it, you could not download it anymore.
You had a few people who ran into that issue because they were like, "Oh yeah, I've got it sitting here ready to go." I'm like, "Oh, good luck."
Me and Kiku are going to start writing like a legacy list of what we actually have access to, just in case.
It's a good idea.
Because that's why I'm chasing all my peripherals, just in case any of them go bye-bye.
Yeah, because that is the other thing, right? Is that the non-backwards compatible thing is something I've been working on for a long time. I've got it down to about 50 or so games that I need to clean up, but it's unfortunately the list is not getting much smaller because those 50 games are pretty tough. Speaking of legacy lists, actually Tarragon is actually working on an archiving project for every game that's on XBLA currently. Not sure exactly where his status is on that, but he has been working really hard to make sure that he has access to every single game possible. Which, yeah, I think, with Tarragon doing Endless Bean Dive and stuff like that, it kind of makes sense that he'd have access to pretty much every game anyway. So, putting it into a spreadsheet, I suppose, is not that much of a change. All right. Well, with those questions out of the way, and I don't think we have any more, so I think we'll look at wrapping up the show.
Yeah, pretty much it.
All right. So if you want to get in contact with us, you can email us at hello@realgamerscore.com, or you can get to us on Twitter @realgamerscore, which Cameron mans. As previously mentioned, we also have the Discord, discord.io/realgamerscore, and we have patreon.com/realgamerscore if you want to check some cash. You can also write in questions to any of those. Otherwise, the Discord has a questions channel that's definitely the best place to get in contact with us. I don't think we have anything at the moment, but we'll definitely, if you add anything, we'll definitely add it to next week's show. And if you also want to be a guest on the show, if you send myself or Cameron a message and with a bit of an audio samples and an idea of what your setup is, so we can help you out, we'd be happy to have guests. We really appreciate having you on this week, Jamie. And
it's nice to have 3 Hall of Famers on again.
Yes, exactly, right? And if you want to help out the podcast, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, your platform of choice, basically. Leave us a review, tell your friends, retweet our tweets, subscribe to us on YouTube and other platforms. And yet, the word of mouth thing is always the biggest thing for us. Bring it up in your boosting sessions. Best way to do it. Every week, just be like, hey, have you guys listened to the podcast? And what's a podcast? And then that's when you just block them. But if they know what a podcast is...
Yeah, wait until you've got your achievement specifically, and then just go ham.
Exactly. Just turn into a giant spam bot talking about the Real Gamerscore podcast, because we really appreciate all the support that we've gotten from the community. And then we'll just where to find us individually. If you want to find me, you can find me on Neomaster on pretty much everything: True Achievements, Xbox, Discord, Neomaster 2005 on Twitch. Although I don't do any streaming quite yet, although I probably will in the future. Cameron, what about you?
Shadowless Edge and pretty much everything. Saying that in Twitch, I'm probably going to be just streaming under Real Gamerscore. Probably do some more Judgment this weekend. Absolutely amazing game. Really but good. Yeah, Twitter, Real Gamerscore. Everywhere else, pretty much Shadowless Edge. And hit me up for Vegas 1 and 2 before those go, whenever that may be. Right.
And Jamie, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on True Achievements and Xbox and Twitter, and I don't really do much on Twitch, but Sniped by a Girl on all of those with a 1 and not an L.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I think that wraps up the show. Thank you all for joining us for episode 132. We will catch you guys next week. See you later.
Peace.
Bye.